Good morning, everyone. My name's Briony and I am the founder of Adorn Cosmetics, and I just thought I would share with you my tips for an everyday, really quick makeup that's just using a few products. It's the look that I tend to use when I'm about to go to Pilates, which is what I'm about to do this morning. You might want to use it for the gym or just darting in and out of the car, dropping the kids off, just so you feel a little bit fresh. Power to you guys that don't want to wear makeup and that don't want to wear it exercising. I totally appreciate that. But for me, it's all about feeling good, and when I feel that I look fresh, then I also feel good. So for me, I just want to cover these dark circles and just give my skin a little bit of a fresh look, regardless of where I'm going. Obviously going to Pilates, I'm there to get fit. So the last thing I want to do is put a product on my face that is going to be detrimental, and it needs to be something that's healthy for my skin. So the products I'm going to show you today are obviously Adorn Cosmetics, and all of the products are certified allergen free, so I can pop them everywhere with no fuss worrying about eyes. And they are also sweat resistant. So if I do work up a bit of a sweat, which I hope I do today, I don't have to worry about obviously the look of makeup dripping off my face. More importantly, my skin will still breathe and function as skin should. It won't be congested, and I won't feel like or look like I've got any makeup on. Just a fresh version of my morning face. So let's get started. The tips that I would like to quickly show you, how I start my morning regardless of what I'm doing or what look I'm trying to achieve, is I start with the Adorn Hydrating Skin Primer Day Moisturizer. So it's a 2-in-1 product that obviously primes the skin and preps it ready for any makeup that you're going to put on, but it also hydrates the skin, so it knocks out having to use 2 products. Being that I'm a more mature person and my skin's a little bit more leaning toward the dehydration side of things now, I do like to mix the Primer Day Moisturizer with Adorn's antioxidant superfood facial oil. Not to confuse these oils with anything that will congest your skin, because they won't. They're pure plant oils. There's no silicons or mineral oil or anything that's going to clog your skin. So it will help calm redness, even help calm acne. But for me, the reason why I use the 2 together is that once I put my loose mineral foundation on, it'll automatically turn into a liquid. So it'll look a little bit more dewy. As we age, our skin can look a bit drier and more dull. So for me, it's about still being able to use the loose mineral, but at the same time, not having that matte sort of look. So I'll pop those 2 on, and it's literally just a squirt of each. Okay, and then I just put both into my hand at the same time, and I mix it together and pop it all over my face. And eyes, as I said, it's all allergen free. Put the rest on your hands, another area that we age, right around the neck and the décolletage. So 1 pump of each was enough to do all of that area. Again, very concentrated ingredients with no fillers, nothing synthetic, so everything's pure and potent, so much less than probably what you're used to using, guys. So the other thing that you may like to do is introduce, if you're a bit dehydrated around the eyes, the eye cream. And it's a cucumber eye cream, and it's just a matter of popping the teeniest tiny little bit around the eyes, and it'll just help with your makeup, so it's not settling in those areas that you don't want it to. So it's just a little bit here and a little bit here, and obviously I've got some fine lines, so it just helps moisturize those areas ready for a little bit of makeup. Now, the mineral foundation that I'm going to use is the Anti-Aging Loose Mineral Foundation. The reason I like wearing that on a daily basis is it's got UVA, UVB, broad spectrum, 20+ sun protection. So getting a little bit of pigment damage, that's really important to me. I also like the fact that it is sweat resistant and very lightweight. So it's protecting my skin during the day but without feeling heavy. So the colour that I'll be using on my skin, just in case that you would like to know, will be medium olive. I could also wear light to medium, but for me, I just want a little bit of extra colour, and you'll find our loose mineral foundations are very forgiving. So even if you're a little bit out with your shade, it probably won't be that noticeable, and you can also go a little bit darker without it being obvious that it's two-toned. So the medium olive is the colour I'll be using today. I just want to show you how much you need, especially for those that are looking at purchasing a sample. It's just such a minuscule amount. That will do my whole face, neck and décolletage. Like there's probably 1/4 gram in there. So really just a small amount. And the brush that I'll be using is the kabuki brush. The reason we have a flat top kabuki brush is because the face is generally quite flat in most areas. So once you pop that on the skin, it buffs it in more evenly than a dome brush. Dome brush hairs tend to spread once they're popped on the skin, and it tends to make quite the mess. So I'll be popping that on now. So just get a little bit at the corner of the brush. And what I love about this product too is that it just really gets rid of all of my redness, which you can't see too much in this video, but it's there, I promise you. Just around the nose, all those little red veins. I do have a bit of pigment around here. I do also have psoriasis just up in my hair, and I do get a little bit around here. So it's excellent for covering and also calming it down. Like it's not so red once I take my makeup off at the end of the day. It just feels really calm, and that's the titanium dioxide with no nanoparticles, so very safe to use, that actually calms the redness down. And what makes the natural sunscreen in this product too is the titanium and the zinc oxides. That's a pure sunscreen. I always like to put it on my neck and décolletage, and the reason for that is that the sun hits this area the most, and most people tend to forget about that. So, you know, being a mature person, I haven't got any sun damage yet, and I put that down to popping this on for the last 10 years. So you'll see, just very lightly, I've just managed to hide, you know, a lot of this sort of discoloration that's still here, and some pigment damage there, and it's just really smoothed the skin. So, popping it on the other side. The other thing with the kabuki brush, is important to keep it clean. If you're an acne sufferer, you might want to purchase our brush cleaner, and that's a topical spritz that you pop on your brush every day to eliminate any bacteria that might be harboring on the brush, so that you're not then reintroducing bacteria that's been sitting on the brush from your skin. The skin oils are what cause the bacteria. For someone like myself who doesn't have any skin issues, you know, really you'd want to clean your brush sort of once a week. So mine's due for a clean now. You may want to have two, so you've got one that's drying and one that you can use. Or the great thing to know is that you can actually apply our loose minerals with a wet brush. It just means you need to use less because it turns the minerals into a liquid. Okay, so we're done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on a concealer. The reason I pop concealer on last is because foundation will inevitably hide most of your flaws. So if you're putting concealer on first, you just doubling up what you need to do, and we're all busy, whether we're working, mums. I've got 3 boys. Surprised no one's interrupted me as yet, but we want to make this really simple. And so the foundation first will get rid of most of your flaws. What's left and still obvious, that's when you will introduce a concealer. And also if you put concealer on first, you're just rubbing it off, whether you're using fingers or a brush. So my go-to island product is this Peachy Sleep Concealer. We launched this a couple of years ago and it's been so extremely popular. We do have samples of it. They're little teeny samples that last probably a couple of weeks. Again, microscopic amount that you need to use because we don't use synthetic colors. It's pure pigments from the earth, so a little goes a really long way. What I love about this concealer is it's been designed for under the eye. So what it will do with that slight apricot color that it has is it will counteract black and blue. So if you've got veins on the top of the eye or your dark circles here, it's perfect for getting an even flawless canvas to work with, especially if you want to put eyeshadow on. But just for me, I just want to be able to look like I have had a decent night's sleep. So what I do is I just use, again, clean fingers, and I just pop a little bit on my ring finger, and then I just pop it on the other ring finger, so popping it on at the same time and starting in this area. It's really dark in that area. So, and then I'm just going to dab it on like I would an eye cream. Now you can use this around the nose if you wanted to, but I would recommend, and you can see already that that's just given me a nice lift, and making this area a little bit lighter than my face has given my cheekbones a bit of a lift as well. But yes, you can use this on your face if you're a fairer skin, but really because this is a corrective skin tone concealer, it's got that peach undertone, so you're best off using a skin coloured concealer for the face. One little tip for the eyes: if you have puffy eyes, you may be best using a concealer that's a skin tone colour. The rule of colour is that when something is light, it looks bigger. And when something is dark, it looks smaller. Hence why some of us like to wear black clothes, or we paint our house white so it looks fresh and open and large. So if you've got puffy eyes, the best thing to do is choose a skin coloured concealer. The Peachy Sleep being a lighter colour may draw attention to puffiness. So again, it's more for those that have got dark circles. So that's the concealer. That should last you quite a long time. The next thing that I like to do is just pop a little bit of blush on my cheeks, just so I don't look one-dimensional. Sometimes just wearing foundation makes it more obvious that you've got makeup on because it's just so flat looking, and naturally the skin doesn't look one-dimensional. So the colour that I like to use is the Summer Cream Blush, and all I do for this is pop a little bit again on my ring finger, and I pop it on both fingers, so at the same time, saving time, I just pop a little bit up the top here. Now the trick with blush is to make sure that you pop it on the top of your cheekbones. So it's almost like the middle of your nose and the edge of your eyebrows, so about here, and then blend around and back. If you bring it too far down, especially with a face shape like mine, you will just look drawn. So if you've got a round face and you want to look more oval, then yes, you might bring it down a little bit further. But for people that have that oval face or a narrow face, do not bring it any further than here, or you're just going to look drawn. Now, even me with over 20 years of experience in the industry, being in a rush, you know, you might put too much blush on. Like, to me, that's just a bit too much. So what I love to do is grab the kabuki brush that I pop my foundation on, as there is a little bit of foundation left on it. So it's your corrector. I love this brush for this reason, because once I've put bronzer on or blush on and I've been too heavy with it, I just come back to my kabuki brush and I just give it a gentle sweep, and you can see it's brought all those minerals together, and they've just sort of fit together like a glove and just molded into each other and made that look much more natural. So the next step for me would be to pop on a little bit of mascara. So I'll just grab that. The mascara that I like to use, especially if I'm going to work out, is the waterproof mascara, as it is really resistant to sweat and things like that, but it's easy to get off. It's not one of those mascaras that is really difficult to wash off, as long as you use a cleanser. Otherwise, I use the mineral mascara on a day-to-day basis because I just like that natural look where it just coats my lashes. I don't really want anything too much. So with mascara, I just wanted to point out that what you should do is just concentrate on these outer lashes. Yes, put the mascara on all your lashes, but the best thing to do is concentrate on the outer lashes. The reason for that is you want that open almond look. If you're concentrating and putting the same amount of mascara here as here, you end up with this sort of starfish look, and it draws the eyes closer together and can make them look smaller. So again, I always put a couple of coats on the outside lashes. I haven't put any eyeliner on because, as I said, I'm just going to Pilates and I just want to look a little bit more fresh. And you know, you can put a little bit on the underneath if you want to, but again, just on the outside. Now, I would use our lash primer if I was going out or heading straight to work, just to give more length, but just for Pilates, just quick and simple. Okay, so just to prove that this is sweat resistant, and also what I like to do at the end of putting my makeup on is to use our rose water. It's pure Bulgarian rose water. It is not an essential oil that's just been, or a perfume rather. It's pure rose petals. So this is really hydrating for the skin. And what you can do just to give your skin a dewier appearance, or if you've been a bit heavy-handed with your minerals and you just want to soften it, this is great for that. So you just spritz it all over the face. And it just gives a nice sheen to the skin, and also again just makes the skin look a bit more natural as well. So you can spritz your skin all day using the minerals because of the water resistancy to them, and the rose water will keep you hydrated all day as well, especially when we're in heating and cooling, and that's really quite aggravating to the skin and why we get quite dehydrated. So what I will do is finish off with a lip gloss. The one that I'm going to use is Bridget. It's just a really nice nude skin coloured lip gloss, just to give some hydration because I get a little bit dry looking in the mornings, and then I am done. So again, this is just a really quick look, obviously explaining it to you. It's taken a little bit longer because I hope I've given you some tips along the way. But again, just to recap, I just put the moisturiser mixed with the oil on first. Didn't wait for that to set. Popped the loose minerals on in medium olive to give me the SPF protection and the sweat resistancy that I want when I'm going to exercise. I then put the summer cream blush on and blended that with my fingers and then corrected it with the Kabuki. The Peachy Sleep concealer I used to correct under my eyes, and then I've just popped a little bit of the Bridget organic lip gloss. Not everybody wants to wear makeup when they're going to the gym or exercising. I totally get that, that's fine. But Adorn is all about making women feel good, and if you feel good wearing no makeup, great. If you feel better, if you do have a bit of something on, fantastic, because that's what it's all about. It's all about feeling good and doing what makes you feel good. So hopefully this little quick tutorial has given you some ideas on how you can quickly get yourself ready in the morning. Thank you. Bye.